What's poppin' T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I'm here with my all tea, all shade Real Housewives of Potomac season 6, episode 14 review. I got some behind the scenes tea for you guys. So last week the reunion was filmed, and we know that Nicki Minaj showed up. Based off what Andy posted, it seemed like he did the majority of the reunion, and at the end he brought Nicki in to do her thing. And his caption led me to believe that she asked the questions that he knew that he couldn't ask the women based off him not being a person of color. Um, and so Mia posted a video of one of Nicki Minaj's verses or something like that, like one of her songs, and said, "Did at Nicki show out for your girl or nah? What do y'all think? Drop your comments down below." Um, so it seems to me like Nikki came to to Mia's defense about her being a stripper or whatever at the reunion, and probably got Candiace together. So I can't wait to see if that actually happened. How do you all feel about Nikki hosting the reunion at the end? I think it's a cute idea. I think that it's cute for her. Um it's a cute pop culture moment. I really hope that she gets in there and asks the questions that us the fans wants to know, and really goes in on the people that needs to be gone in on and checks them the way that Andy cannot. So hopefully we'll get that. I'm really thinking that this reunion is going to be a four-parter as well, just like the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Okay, now let's get into tonight's episode, child, because tonight episode, if last week was a doozy, god damn it, this was a doodah. God damn it, these bitches. They it's a mess, but it's a great mess to watch. So, and I'm actually gonna call in my bestie Sharita to because she got a lot that she want to say to y'all too about tonight's episode. Let me call her real quick before I even get into this. So I'm recording right now. So once I get done doing my part of the reunion, the review, I'm gonna call you. I'm just gonna put you on speakerphone so you can tell the viewers what you got to say. So I'll call you as soon as I'm done with my part. Okay. But because she was like, when you do your next review, I got to tell the people how I feel about it. So if you don't know who Sharita is, she's my friend that I do my Fashion Killer reviews, Fashion Killer videos with. Okay, so tonight's episode picks up exactly where we left off last week with Mia and Candiace going back and forth. Candiace was like, watch yourself. Like she got so much bark and bass in her voice that you would think that her little ass would know how to bang and like know how to beat a bitch ass, and she ain't gonna do shit. So Karen was like, Candiace, you know her mother's story. And Candiace was like, I don't care. I don't care. So Mia was like, my mother is a recovering addict. Mia gets like something off the table and breaks it, breaking these people stuff, child, knowing you're gonna have to come out of your pocket to pay that shit back. Candiace is actually crying for once. She's actually crying because, she's upset and she's mad that she got salad thrown on her. So Candiace was like, "You not gonna say whatever you want to me. I'm going to respond. You just got here. G, take your bitch home." Like, girl, oof, Jesus Christ Almighty. And even somebody in the background was like, "Don't involve the husbands." Like, Jesus Christ. So Karen was like, "Did you know the story about, Mia's mom?" And Candiace was like, "When I was at Giselle's event, I didn't know." Granted, she didn't know it then, but 5 minutes earlier or an hour earlier when y'all was all up in the room and Wendy told you that, her mom has a story, it's a lot going on with her mom, you knew it was something. You might not have known to the extent at that point of what it was, but you knew that it was something enough for them to be like, "Hey, yo, you need to chill on that your mama shit." And you kept on doing it because you are a mean person. She is just a surly, mean motherfucker that when she is mad, she's going to go low to the pits of hell to hurt you. She's just that type of person. Um, And in some cases it works, and in some other cases it won't, because there is gonna come a day where she gonna get fucked up behind her goddamn mouth. Point blank and the period. And it might not even be anything of physical nature, but you can't go around talking to people no any kind of way and think that that shit not gonna come back around on you. You reap what you sow, and you speak life and death with your tongue at the end of the day. So Mia says that she's leaving because she got too much to lose. Oh, don't that sound familiar? Don't that sound familiar when Monique was saying she got too much to lose too when it came to her incident with Robin and with little Mighty Mouse. So Wendy tells her husband to come talk to G because she don't want them to leave, and for Chris to come get Candiace because she up here acting like a Tasmanian devil again. So Chris comes in the kitchen. Candiace was like, "Oh God, I'm in trouble. He about to cuss me out." Candiace was like, "I threw 2 pieces of lettuce at her, and she took a handful and threw it at me." Okay, so for all of you Candiace supporters that was in the comment section last week, Thomas, she didn't throw it at her first. Mia threw it at her. I don't know what the fuck y'all was looking at. We clearly saw her pick up pieces of lettuce and threw it at her. It's just that Mia threw more back at her. So she even said out of her own mouth on this episode that she threw food at her first. So y'all need to stop picking and choosing what y'all want to see and hear when it comes to your faves. Um, and like I said, she was wrong. Don't throw nothing at nobody, especially when you yourself just had an altercation last season. Why would you come back this season and be throwing stuff at people? And let me make this 100% clear, because last week I was just so dumbfounded I couldn't even really say what I wanted to say. But Candiace came in on go on last week's episode. She came in on go, ready and prepared to fuck with Mia. She was fucking with Mia from the moment she got in the house, making little snide comments, taunting her and fucking with her. And it was childish as fuck. Y'all had already had y'all little argument when she called the video low budget and you said the shit about her mama. Why come in on 10 ready to start shit? She came in ready to start, and look at what the fuck happened. She came in and escalated that whole entire situation when once again you were at the pinnacle of everything bad that happened last season, and once again you're steady starting shit with people. So we see now Monique wasn't the problem. Monique was never the motherfucking problem. It was Candiace. I was telling y'all asses that last season. It's Candiace ass. She want to act like she Bruce Almighty in this motherfucker and ain't gonna do shit but run to the police and cry with that goddamn tissue and shit. Girl, get the fuck out of here. But anywho, so then she goes on to say the pimp and her concubine should leave. She love calling somebody a goddamn concubine, child. Love. Just because she over there taking care of a whole ass, grown ass white man with a 59 million kids and 11 baby mamas. You can't talk about nobody when you over there taking care of a whole ass white man. Like, and I don't understand why don't nobody call her out on that shit. Like, you and your white man was sitting up there living off of your mama. You can't talk about nobody, man. You ain't got a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out. Oh, I got one right this time. God damn. So Karen was like, "You not gonna." So then we see Karen and Mia in the other room. Mia is upset, of course, and Karen is upset too because she sees that once again Candiace is doing the most fucking with people, and she says to Mia, "You not gonna. I mean, you gonna stand up with dignity and pride. Nobody can make you feel cheap or your mother. Do you understand me?" And I was like, "You better preach, Karen. You better get them together." So Mia was like, "If there is ever anybody that can be that ruthless, they can put me in that space of me acting out," is what she was saying. She was like, "She could talk about me all day. Don't talk about my mom. She worked way too hard. You got to understand, being a little girl that was left behind, I had to fend for myself my entire childhood. She wasn't a mother to me, but she has worked her ass off to get where she is today. Her sobriety means everything to me. I'll be damned if I let a little chihuahua take that shit from her. If my mom relapses because of that bitch, she better catch me outside. You don't talk about anyone's mom." And I agree. The mamas should be out of the conversation as well as children. This is a reality show where we as women expose our lives and throw shade and get into it with each other over stupid shit. But you should not be adding family into the equation. At first when she said if my mom relapses because of that bitch, she better catch me outside. I didn't understand where she was going with that. I was like, that might be a reach. But then later on she explains it. So Ashley was like, she always does that. Like she goes below the belt. And Candiace does. Now I know that when arguing, you can't tell somebody how to respond when arguing. But in this case, Candiace came in starting with Mia. Y'all had already had that fucking argument about the video, this, that, and the third, or whatever. That was done and over with. She came in on go. She started that whole thing. She set the motherfucking tone. I don't care what you say. That is how I feel. And you can most definitely disagree with what I'm saying. But one thing I'm going to remind y'all down there in that comment section, don't come for me and my opinions on my motherfucking channel and question or debate what the fuck I got to say. You can feel how you want to feel, but this is my thoughts and my opinions. So, Candiace says to Chris, from day one, she's been going off on people. She wanted smoke, so I invited her in my room. And yes, from day one, Mia has been saying little smart shit to certain people, but that has been their issues. That ain't got shit to do with Candiace. Y'all had y'all situation. Ooh wee. So Chris was like, that's what children do. Like, somebody has to be the adult here. Like, okay. And he was like, that's between them. That ain't got nothing to do with you. So then back inside the house, a scholar says, when you said her video was low budget, I think that really hurt her feelings. And it probably did hurt her feelings because it was low budget. But I forgot who said this on their review. I was watching somebody's review on YouTube and they was like, she could have just been like, yeah, it was low budget because, I got to save money. I got to get to where I need to be or whatever the case may be. But, whatever. But at the end of the day, her saying her video was low budget. It was funny. It was a read and it probably did hurt her feelings. But this is shade. This is what we do on this goddamn show. It was wrong, but this is what we do on the show. I just feel like Candiace went too far with bringing her mama into the situation because her mama didn't have nothing to do with it. Now she could have said, "Bitch, you low budget. Yo, cosmetic surgery is low budget, obviously, because you got all them crates and craters in your motherfucking face, bitch." Like it was so much that she could have said about Mia that she didn't have to go there with the mama. So Mia was like, she should have said that when I was a new business owner, everything was low budget. Now I make $450,000. Sorry, you guys, to bring it up. And we was like, girl, here you go bragging about how much money you got, girl. We get it. So a scholar asked a very smart question. She's like, do you talk about work and business because at a time you didn't have all of that? And that's exactly why she does it. Her talking about how much money she has and stuff is like a status symbol to her. It boosts her ego. It makes her more confident about who she is. That's why Mia has gone out and done so much stuff to her physical appearance because she wants to feel like she's important, like she fits in, like she belongs. And that's some internal work that she needs to do with herself. So a scholar was then like, for the rest of the trip, can we not talk about that? Like, it's girl, we get it. You got a little coin. Ooh, everybody here got money, except for Robin. So Mia was like, if people are gonna go that low, I want no parts of it. My mom tells me every single day that she thinks about getting high. And for someone she doesn't know to say that about her is gonna hurt her. And I don't know what to do about that. So that's when it came around to me that, oh, like her mother is still really struggling with getting high and being embarrassed on national television like that could be a trigger for her. So I was like, ooh, yeah, okay. Now I understand the depths of what she was saying. So outside, Candy out still going on, and she was like, "When you come for me and what I worked hard for, then fuck you." And I agree with that. She did come at her about her video, so it is fuck you, but it don't have to be you every time you see her. You starting shit with her. It ain't that fucking deep. So Chris was like, "Are you insecure?" And Candy was like, "No, I'm not." So he was like, "You're saying how she is responding is because of her insecurities. When you respond to her, says I'm insecure too." And I was like, "Oh, you better speak a word, Chris. Too bad she ain't gonna listen to it." So she was like, "No, it says you need to mind your motherfucking business." Chris was like, "The more you speak on it, the more it shows it bothers you," which it does. It does. And he was like, "I want you to go in there and say to me, I'm not gonna disrespect you. I'd appreciate if you don't disrespect me." Of course, she is unwilling to do that because that's just like too much for her. So G, Mia, and Karen are in the hall talking. And Gordon G gonna talk about something. The men are good. We all good. And then Mia like propped and pumped Karen's hair and was saying how pretty she looked. And G gonna tell me some why you look so good, girl. Y'all, I haven't even eaten today, and I wanted to throw my guts up, the inside lining of my guts. Karen was like, the fuck is going on here? Like, G nasty ass. He just a nasty old geezer. Ugh, why you look so good, girl? Ugh. Boy. So Karen excuses herself. She said, I'm going to call Ray because you done went too motherfucking far. So Ashley come down and asks if are they sane? And G then ends up telling the story about how he met Mia. He said, you know, when he first met Mia, she was a waitress at the club, but then she started to dance. And he said that, you know, he would just pay her to talk basically. And she was like $10,000 a conversation or whatever. And their little story is, you know, it's cute for them or whatever the case may be. There does seem like there is love there between them. So they decide they're going to stay. Ashley goes into the kitchen and sees Chris sweeping the floor and was like, "Oh, that's nice." And Chris was like, "You know, I know we're not always on the same page, but I do want to say congratulations on baby number two. Motherhood looks good on you." And that was very big of him. That was very mature of him because Chris ain't the problem. It's Candiace that's the problem. And Ash was like, you know, thank you. That's very nice of you to say. She was like, your wife called me wide, and I didn't really appreciate that. And Chris gonna say, she used a lot of adjective. Child, I damn near hollered because that is the damn truth, child. So everyone goes to their room preparing for the night. G still drunk. He bringing the luggage into him and Mia room. Thomas like, hey baby, where you at? I was like, nigga, can you put your tongue in your mouth? What the fuck is it? A weight on the end of that motherfucker? Put your damn tongue up. So stovepipe legs and Brokey end up showing up anyway, even though they said they wasn't coming, child. And I was like, we all knew y'all wasn't gonna miss no motherfucking free trip. Not nothing that y'all ain't got to pay for because we know Robin can't pay for shit. And Giselle ass look like she stay on Groupon, bitch. So Giselle sees that they gonna be living in the attic and is not pleased by their room accommodations at all and mad because she ain't got no bathroom. Well, first of all, bitch, you said you wasn't coming. So blame yourself. So Brokey her still ain't done. She got her pulled back in a little gel ponytail. I'm like, girl, can you put it in a budget to save to get your hair done at least throughout the season? Damn, Robin. So Candy Eyes comes in the room and tells them what happened, and then she threw food at Mia first. Candiace was like, she called my visuals low budget, so I said your mother. And Giselle was like, which wasn't right, and I meant to tell you that. And I was like, what? Giselle on the side of right and not on the side of wrong for once? Oh my God. So Candiace like, she was coming for my mother. No, she wasn't. And Giselle was like, no, no. And she was like, Candace was like, why are you talking to my mother? And Giselle was like, talking to and talking about are two different things. And I hope she feels stupid when she watched the episode back and realized that your mama was going around to all of your castmates talking about you and your husband. Why should your mama feel comfortable enough to be telling y'all motherfucking business and embarrassing her own goddamn daughter on national motherfucking television? She should feel fucking stupid. Now, did Mia have to engage in the conversation? No. But the same thing goes for Robin and Giselle because they both engaged in the conversation and was talking about your ass to your motherfucking mama. So I hope at the reunion you had some shit to say to their asses too since you called yourself going off on fucking Mia. So Robin then tells her that she was wrong as well. Candiace in her confession times, if I would have known about her mama traumas, I would have just talked about her big ass feet. You didn't know that her mother was a drug addict, but once again, you knew that it was something going on with her mother that you shouldn't have been talking about her in the first place, and you steady went there. You didn't give a goddamn. So Wendy comes in the room smiling and greets the girls, and Giselle was like, "Oh, she's smiling. I haven't seen that in a long time." And Wendy in her confession was like, if they came here to start shit, I'm not fucking engaging. Like I'm not doing it with these hoes. So Wendy was like, welcome you guys. Thanks for coming. And Giselle was like, "What bathroom should we be using?" Wendy says, "Does this one not have a bathroom?" And Giselle was like, "Do you see one?" And I was like, "Ooh, ooh, 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 bitch." So Wendy was like, shit, I don't know. Rooms weren't assigned. Like, y'all got here last, so whoopsie daisy. So Giselle was like, as the host, what bathroom should we use? Wendy says, there's bathrooms downstairs. Hobble your ass down the motherfucking steps, bitch. That's really what she wanted to say. So Giselle, of course, and Robin are pissed off because they ain't got the accommodations that they thought that they should be having, even though nobody knew their asses was fucking coming. So Ashley comes in the room and brings them shots. Um, Brokey online trying to find them a hotel because it's men in the house and I'm on my period. Bitch, you knew you was on your period when you rolled your ass up there. Why the fuck did you come in the first place? That makes no sense. Why did you come when it was a couple's trip? Oh, I forgot you are in a couple with the bitch laying in the bed next to your ass because y'all show scissoring at night. Why ain't Juan with your ass? Why ain't Juan never the fuck around? Because you're in a relationship with Giselle. Y'all might as well just come the fuck out the goddamn closet. So everyone gets on the van and head to dinner, and lo and behold, Candiace and Mia end up having to sit next to each other. And of course, Candiace is not pleased with this. G drunk ass is on the van sleep. Karen, Giselle, and Ashley end up sitting in the back next to each other, and they actually end up kicking and laughing and talking about balls, and they trying to explain to Karen old ass what teabagging is. Karen know what the fuck teabagging is, old freak. G wake up child talking about his GVO, GOV, and LMOP and OPP, and him and Candace end up bonding and bumping fists and shit and having a moment. And I'm like, why the fuck is you bumping fists with this hoe? And she just called your motherfucking wife a motherfucking hoe and this, that, and a night crawling, a night creeper, and everything else. Gee, get the fuck together. So they end up going to this restaurant, child, and they was the only black folks up in that motherfucker. Everybody watching them, all excited and shit because they, of course, are filming and they like, ooh, black folks never seen niggers before. So Ashley tells Robin and Giselle that the men behind them are giving them the eye. And like, you should get on one of them, Giselle. And Giselle looked and she was like, nah, I'm good. And I was like, girl, you need to try something new because them niggas you been fucking with are not the one nor the two. So Ashley tells the group Michael took the baby to work and his assistant fed him. Here come G old rickety ass talking about some shit breastfed him. And they was like, no, G, like she gave the baby a bottle. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, G mind just, Lord Jesus, help him, Father. Get that nigga some AARP, some ginseng, some something. God damn. So Robin's still in a funk because she on her period. She on her phone looking for a hotel. She keep on bringing it up in front of everybody that she over there bleeding and shit. And I'm like, bitch, everybody at the table ain't gotta know that you over there fucking blood clotting and shit. Shut the hell up. And I still don't understand why you came. I know why she came because she wanted a long time with her and Giselle. And for them to be able to lick each other's pussies in private. And because it was a free motherfucking trip that she and the goddamn Juan can't afford. So Robin, I'm sorry, so the white men behind them buys the whole table shots. And lo and behold, we find out that the table over on the other side of them, which is a table full of white women, are their wives. I guess that they didn't have no more long tables to give them because they were saving it for, the cast or whatever. So they all like, hell no, how the hell you buying us fucking shots and y'all ain't even buying y'all wife none? Just like a nigga. So Wendy then ends up buying all the wives shots. Karen then gets up and goes over to the men and tell them to buy their wives some shots and some YSL bags to make up for this foolishness. I was like, you better put them up on game, Karen. So Ashley, they had a few Coronas, child, and it's time for her to earn her paycheck. And Ashley brings up uh that the I'm sorry, where was I at? So Ashley then says to Chris, how do you feel about what happened earlier? And this is what Ashley does. She starts shit. So Chris was like, I don't subscribe to that. Me and G are good. Y'all gonna do what y'all gonna do. We all understand that. But I would like to get to a place with Michael where I am with G, where you two can go back and forth and we're like, it is what it is. Which is how most of the husbands on this show handle things. Um, so Ashley was like, Michael, she was like, and that's how it is. But Michael has opinions on how you control yourself and how you had opinions on his life. Now, once again, Ashley, you started this shit because everybody was doing good, and here you come starting shit. But like I said, she got to earn her motherfucking paycheck, and she want to make sure her ass get picked up for next season. So I understand it. But once again, you started this shit. You started this shit. Can't blame this on Candiace this time. You started this shit. So Chris was like, I have never said anything about Michael. And Ashley was like, false. So then they flashed back to the reunion where Chris said that Michael disrespects women on this platform and he's not gonna stand for that. So Giselle was like, you and Michael have had words. Chris was like, but I have never talked shit about Michael. Ashley says, but your wife has, and that has rubbed him so wrong. Candiace then jumps in, was like, Candiace has responded to the shit Michael has said. Chris then says Michael will sit there and talk mad shit about me. We have another flashback of Michael saying that Chris had an unsuccessful restaurant and called him a bald head motherfucker. And I was like, well, ain't that the pot called the kettle black? Because y'all had an unsuccessful relationship and you a bald head geezer. So Candiace then said Michael referred to him as white trash. So Ashley was like, what do you say about him? You called him a slave driver. Candiace gonna say, yeah, because he drives his slaves. And this is where Candiace went wrong again, because she should have just sat there and shut up. Because that statement, because he drives his slaves. How you gonna say some shit like that when you yourself are married to a white man? You're talking about yourself. And you're calling another black woman a slave? Know when to hold him, know when to fold him. Like, if she don't get suspended or something next season, because she's very problematic. She's so problematic that she gonna end up costing Bravo. She gonna end up costing Bravo. They let her keep on sliding. Like, there needs to be some type of punishment for the shit that this girl says, because she goes too far. Like, Jesus the Christ. So Giselle even was looking at her like, girl. And it's something when Giselle ass is on the side of right. But once again, like I said last season, Giselle and Robin don't give a fuck about Candiace, so they gonna turn on her ass with a drop of a dime anyway. So Chris was like, stop, because he knew it. He knew what the fuck. So Ash like, so you're calling me a slave? Bitch, you can't get it straight to save your motherfucking life. You have no idea how to be a civil human being. Candiace was like, I'm not going there with you. Well, you shouldn't have went there in the first place, because now you done dug another hole for yourself. So Ash is like, then you cock a fight with Mia. You actually put your hand in Mia's face today and had the audacity to say, oh, I went through this last year. So then they flash back to when Mia and Candiace was in the kitchen going back and forth. And Candiace was like, don't put your hand in my face. And Mia was like, what you gonna do? And she was like, I've been through this before. You haven't. Or whatever. Basically saying like, I interpreted what Candiace said was like, I done been through this before, where the motherfucker put their hand in my face and you don't want to basically get your ass kicked. Like, you don't want me to fuck you up. Like, you don't know what the fuck will come in behind this. And I'm like, at the end of the day, you shouldn't even been that close to her, engaging with her, throwing shit at her, whatever, especially coming off the season that you just had. So Ashley was like, we were all a part of what happened last year, and it was pretty traumatic. Candiace was like, and you played a major part in that. You are a foul, fucked up individual. Giselle looking at Candiace like, is this bitch on crack? So Ash like, you started a fight with Mia today. You threw salad at Mia. You actually invited the smoke with Mia. Talking about point your finger and all that. Chris, like, stop. stop, because he know this bitch is about to continue to fuck up and say some stupid shit. So Giselle was like, last year Ashley didn't start the fight. Candace was like, no, she did, but she took her fucked up ass and got involved in some legal shit. And I was like, true. She very much did. Very much did get involved in that shit. And she did do it to be malicious. Let's just keep it a buck. Ashley did do it on some get back shit. She did. She did. She did. But at the end of the day, she wouldn't have had shit to say in the court papers if you wouldn't have threw a butter knife in her face like you was gonna stab her. So yeah. And at the end of the day, you can't tell me that Candiace wouldn't have did the same thing to Ashley if the roles wasn't reversed. Can't tell me she wouldn't. Where was I at? So Chris is like, hey, hey. And he stands up, grabbing her arms, like trying to get her to get up and leave the table. She's like, I don't need to go. I don't need to go. She pushing him, yanking her hands away and shit, like embarrassing them, embarrassing everybody. And I'm not just saying she was embarrassing everybody because it was some white folks in the room. I don't give a fuck about white people. White people are equally as embarrassing as anybody else. They are some goddamn coons when they want to be, and that's the majority of the goddamn time. But she was just embarrassing herself, period, because she literally acts like a petulant, spoiled child that does not know how to control her emotions. So Chris was like, yes, you do. Candace was like, I'm sitting here. Sit down. And it's like, even the way she talking to her husband, so sit down. And he was like, man, fuck this. And he walked the fuck out. She didn't even leave with her husband. She just let him walk the fuck off. Like, arguing is more important to her than even handling her own fucking, her own goddamn husband. So Giselle was like, Ashley didn't start anything last year. Candace was like, she got herself involved in some legal shit to be a vindictive bitch. Girl, she said bitch so motherfucking hard. Girl, so Wendy was like, what happened to good vibes only? And Candace was like, respectfully, with good vibes only, she could suck my dick. And I was like, Jesus. So Ash like, you ain't got no dick. You may have an oversized clit, but you ain't got no dick. I was like, what? What the fuck? So Ken was like, no, that's your friend. I was like, now why did she bring Mia back in this? Mia ain't said nothing to nobody. Mia over there minding her damn business. And once again, she started shit with Mia. Like, didn't your husband ask you earlier to leave that girl alone? Like, once again, you started shit with her. She started the shit with fucking Mia. So Mia was like, girl, she get on my nerves. So Giselle was like, girl, go find your husband. A Skylar husband is the one that gets up to go check on Chris, and it was like, does it escalate like this all the time? Because this man is just like behooved at the foolery that he is around. Chris was like, I'm sick of this shit. It's always like this. So Wendy was like, I can't take y'all hoes nowhere. Mia was like, you can't say she's acting out of character because so are you to Candace. And Candace was like, what? Watch yourself. Don't embarrass your benefactor. And I'm like, girl, but you, Michael's, but you, Chris, benefactor, bitch. You over here, Captain Saving a whole white goddamn man with a brown dick. Girl, get your, girl, this thing got vitiligo. Girl, what the fuck is going on with you? So Robin in her confession was like, you never know what's going to come out of Candace's mouth. We've seen this over and over again. It's like looking for trouble. And I'm like, oh, now y'all get it. Now y'all see. Oh. So Karen was like, if one more figure flies in my face, I'm gonna bite it. Candace gets up to go finally go check on Chris. Mia was like, go find your husband. Candace was like, girl, shut up. Giselle and Robin and Ashley at the end of the table talking. And lo and behold, Giselle and Robin finally agree that Candace hasn't learned anything from last season. Ain't that nothing? And I was like, she ain't learned nothing because you two bitches was the ones being her fucking cheerleader last year and did not hold her ass accountable for the shit that she did. And y'all blamed everything on fucking Monique because y'all was so fucking jealous and hateful and wanted her ass off the show so bad. And now, because y'all got her ass gone, now y'all about to do the same shit to motherfucking Candace. But like I said, I blame Candace because she should have known that shit. But ain't that funny? Ain't that funny? Now y'all want to see that Candace ass is the motherfucking problem. Girl, fuck you hoes. Fuck y'all. Let me call Sharita. Okay, girl, talk your shit to these damn people. I'm already 34 minutes in.
Damn, you must have had a lot to say.
Yeah, I did.
Keisha, I don't even know where to start. All right, I guess I'll start here. There, if there is one bitch in the world that I really, really loathe, I mean, can't stand, is that motherfucking 12-year-old boy on a hockey team, wide nostril ass Candiace. Like, I cannot fucking stand that girl. Like, oh, come to Philly. Come to Philly with their mouth. Please come to Philly with their mouth. Like, I don't fucking like her. Who the fuck do you think you are? Mind you, I missed like the first 9 minutes. So, when I got to it, her husband, when I started watching, her husband had her outside and was talking to her. But she is so fucking disrespectful. Like, you literally learned nothing from your situation from last year. And I'm glad that these other whores are starting to see it. But y'all should have been saw it. Y'all should have been saw it. Because clearly, last season she showed y'all, and at the reunion she showed y'all, that she didn't learn shit from that situation. At all. Like, you're still provoking people. You're still antagonizing people. You're still being disrespectful. You're still going below the belt. And you think you can intimidate people with your mouth, but when somebody uppercuts your ass, you gonna try to call the fucking cops because you can't fight. Like, she gets on my fucking nerves. But yeah, that entire situation, like, you should have picked up shit and threw shit, knowing you can't fight nobody, knowing you ain't in the position of the rumble, nose, not a soul. So all that mouth she got, and my thing is, if you gonna read somebody, read them. Like, I get it. Mia definitely shouldn't. Mia was wrong when she said the shit was low budget and all of that, whatever she said. But I feel like talking about somebody's parents is like talking about kids. Like, that's off limits. She ain't say nothing about your mom.
Right.
She ain't say nothing about them illegitimate ass murdering looking kids that your husband got. So why are you talking about her mom? And then you know about her situation now, and you still talking shit. But Candiace came into the house already on set. Like, she came in there started. She literally came and started. So it wasn't even like she came in like, okay, that was the past. We handled it. And we handled it at Giselle construction site. She didn't do that. She came she came in there on 10 already ready to start. So yeah, that was that. And my thing is, for real, be mad at your mom, because your mom created that space for Mia to feel comfortable enough to say something. And Mia wasn't the only one who said anything.
Girl, you saying everything that I said in my review.
Giselle said shit, Robin said shit. Your mom literally created that open space for them to feel comfortable enough to talk shit. So be mad at Dorothy. Period. Like, that's it. And speaking of the green eye bandit, that bitch Giselle got some nerve. You gonna come to these? You gonna come late? First of all, mad about not having a bathroom in your room when you ain't even want that girl to use your bathroom in the woods.
Girl,
if you get the fuck out of here, if I was Wendy, I would have stepped on her foot. Girl, fuck you.
I stepped on her foot.
Robin in there telling people her vagina bleeding.
Girl,
telling people that your period on.
Nasty hoe. What? Because she a motherfucking man. She don't know how to handle shit.
On that fucking cheetah. she had on the fucking cheetah set.
Girl, they country asses.
Can't dress for shit. It got all the mouth in the world. God. I know I'm jumping all over the place. I'm trying to think of everything. G don't need to drink on trips.
Girl.
No.
Girl.
Because when he licked that,
girl,
I threw up in my fucking mouth, dog. Like, Mia. And she thinks she must. Part of me feel like she think it's cute, and then part of me feel like she was a little bit embarrassed. I don't know. Like, I couldn't really decipher what it was, but at first she was like laughing.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. It seemed a little awkward too after a while, but
yeah.
Oh, he got you. Oh, here, you can't be just doing that to people. Like, come on, dog. Like, we in the Me Too movement era and shit. Like, you can't be fucking licking your tongue at people that, like, I was uncomfortable. So I know Karen was uncomfortable. Like, what? No,
Hell
boy,
yeah.
you can't do that.
All right, girl. Well, we 40 minutes in. I'm gonna call you as soon as I finish eating, girl.
All right.
Bye. So yeah, y'all got my review. Y'all got Sharita review on this crazy ass show. Man. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell button. Let's talk down below what y'all thought about tonight's episode. Who do y'all think was in the right? Who y'all think y'all was in the wrong? Between Candiace and Mia and between Candiace and Ashley. What y'all thinking about Giselle and Robin's change of heart about last season? Do you think that Wendy was wrong for not accommodating Giselle and Robin, even though they came last minute? Let's talk, let's talk, let's talk. I love you guys, and I will see you guys on the next review. Bye.